It's 6 a.m. here, and I happily can't sleep. Don't really want to. Haven't had much sleep, but this looks like somebody sprayed everything, and ideal. No runoff, no erosion. The rain's gone. The next 10 days, according to the forecast. So let's see what happens.
Nearly 9 a.m. in this beautiful place. I can tell they could use another rain, so I'm going to go for it again this afternoon and tomorrow morning. There is no rain in the official Apple forecast, but then it also shows moisture moving over the area again around 1 p.m. Boy, look at that. Look how green this baby is right here. Things are different and better, but we still have room. We just need to dry out a little bit. Maybe get some more fresh water in here today or tomorrow. Noon 02 here. This is about 2.5–3 miles from where I started filming, or from our turn, about a mile from where I started filming yesterday when the rain came. And yeah, I talked to Cindy, try to get her on camera later, about what happened. She said the fog rolled over and then all of a sudden there was the rain. It seemed like it came from the east. I'm looking at the transpiration in the air. It's very thin. When I drove in this morning, it was nice and cool. I went to have a nice breakfast, and you know, that was an hour. Then I was at Home Depot for a while. Then see, there's a cloud right over our side, dark one. Amazing. There's 2. There's 3. Wow, it's already spinning. The kinds of things you don't know to film. So it's amazing. Now we're at the last leg getting up the hill and it suddenly shifted to moist. Everything was bright and green further down, but now we've got darkened dirt. We've got everything moist and dampened. So you can see the trunks are wet. That's just another validation. This is localized. I can't go to every mountain while I'm here, but I can go, 40 miles to town and drive up a 5-mile mountain road and find out that it's the last half mile that's still green. And by the way, there's our rain clouds. Okay, I am just around the corner. Still have lovely puddle there, and as I was just saying to the other little video, you can see wet trunks up here. You can see darkened red soil. It's just a more muted quality to the air sound. The buildings look wet, the wooden buildings look wet, so like, that's just phenomenal, man. It was a saturating rain yesterday. I've said this in several of these videos, I'll just say it again since this is a shorter one. The rain that fell was perfect for here, just like the rain that fell only a few days ago on Friday in Kingston was perfect for there. And yeah, I think it's ready just about to give it another go. So I'm gonna start watering in a couple hours. Well, the best laid plans. I've had enough time to, just labeling buckets finally. I haven't had a chance to do that on going so much, but we just got our first rainfall already back. Looks like it's gonna hang around for a bit, and that's interesting. One more thing, you see the darker cloud in the back there coming towards us from the north, and then just towards the pointing towards the northwest, clear, directly overhead, rain clouds. And then pointing south, clear, wrapping around. You can see that, right? It's just over us, this rain cloud. It's thunder. Here, let me walk this way real fast. See that? That's rain making with trees. That's one of the things it does. You get dome effect directly overhead sometimes. And it drops rain. So that was a little bit, but man, you know, we could probably kick it if we wanted to. One more check here. Here's the truck we just saw. So you can see how fast it's drying. Yeah. That means there'll be more before long. Okay, 12:57. Here's the first real dropping, like a shower. Oh man, it's so amazing to watch. So I'm gonna try to capture these stages. Now it kind of is gonna plop, plop. It's like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And my perception is that it just opens up the system's ability to receive more and pull more somehow. And I say that as my perception because that's essentially what the science is saying, is that the trees know how to kind of create a situation that brings rain, and they make clouds, and they can tell clouds to drop rain. And there's a few more little kaleidoscopic aspects. Okay, this is a new one. Started 15 seconds ago. We're getting a little hail. Alright, may it end soon. I just want to make a little video. Cool buckets. Now we're facing. All I did was label the buckets. Oh boy. Anyway, let's see what happens. It's been maybe a minute. I just moved some stuff inside, and we got real hail. Not hard, I'll say that, but it's... Now, here's a thought. Ouch. That helps with control. Now I'll say, ouch. And I don't know yet that this is bad from the other life perspective. And that's what I was going to suggest, is that, okay, cool, so it hurts, it stings a little bit when it hits you, but I've been hit in the nose and in the finger holding the camera, and it's not horrific. It's just bouncing off the truck like crushed ice. So it's falling, it's not driving, you know? It's just falling. And then, since the ground is saturated, if we had rain, it would cause runoff of the water itself, probably. But if this stops, and I know I'm rationalizing, but it's a good rationalization. If this stops in some reasonable, non-painful way, because deer know how to hide from things like this, and they're thick-skinned, literally. So this is not so bad for the horses over there. Now it's softening. Yeah, it's getting wetter. Okay, so that's my theory here, is that now it sits on the land and melts in instead of falls as water and rolls off. And we'll see if I am guessing in some way close to what happens. Interesting strategy. Now you can see the water. I'll just go walk into it, see how bad it is. Yeah, now it's real thin. No hits yet. Just ploppy raindrops and bits of, Sonic's best ice. So maybe I'm right, eh? I hope so. Okay, 1:10 p.m. Yeah, it's pretty serious business. It's flooding. So I'm shutting windows, lots of pings and pongs. It's puddling well. It looks bad from a human property perspective. But that this is kind of like what happened. Oh yeah, whoops. Here's one I should have closed. Kind of like what happened to California. The first, I mean, it didn't hail, but it was like, man, when that thing got triggered, I heard from Kathy up there about how incredible the rains were. It's like, we've never seen anything like it. It was, you know, I don't know what you did, but you did it. It triggered, triggered a massive storm, and then legendarily, California kind of refilled some lakes people thought would never refill. So this wasn't in the forecast, and I don't know what to say. You know, wait and see, as always. Okay, and it's been a very emotional 30 seconds. And then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, it's done. No problem. I mean, captured at the height of the hail. It's still coming down pretty good though. Enough to flood roads. Potentially, that's my back up. What's that? Garage. Ha! It's this thing. Next thing I hit the button. Anyway, so everything's huddling nicely, but probably not everywhere on the mountain at this point. Meanwhile, the hail is melting in and not falling. So that, pretty good theory, but I don't know about damages yet. 1:29 p.m. This is basically what's been going since the last check-in. It's just a strong, deep soak again, deeper soak, which is so interesting. When you do the jet in, at the end of the long process, you can get rains immediately that are like this, that just like whoosh, now you're in some other world of kind of plant dictated stuff. It seems to me, but in this I know I'm wanting to see for sure. Only benefits come from these rains that I feel like I'm helping to bring and catalyze. Anyway, as I say that, you can still see big gap over there, so maybe it's only up here. Maybe it's heaviest right where I am, and you know, I'll try to get a read on that later. I'm gonna enjoy the fact that now I've got another afternoon off. The drench is done, I reckon, but I don't know. I'm not going to look at the satellite. We'll see. Nice rainy day now. Just picked up, back up a little bit. I don't know, it's been less than 10 minutes, I think. But it's lighter. Yes, it's lighter rain now, for sure. Wow. It's like effervescent. I don't really want to get in it dry, but it's not heavy. It's fantastic. Look at that. Every time you see that, instead of big plops, I'm getting lots of littles. More akin to what came slower in Kingston. Just sounds nice. I think if we were trees, we'd be real happy right now. It smells good too. The oxygen feels good. So I think this is like another form of cleansing, rebalancing, stuff moving through. You know, deep cleanse, deep tissue washes, or soaps rather. Effervescent rain now. What a trip. Flops. 2 days of flops. We've got a mister dousing this again. Incredible. few moments later, 1:48 p.m. It seems to be a little ploppier again. I guess it's been about 90 minutes of a wild ride. And still looks great here overall on the landscape. A little more wear and tear for sure here and there. But again, that can dry up super fast here. We are in Arizona, high elevation. So just wait and see. Looking okay here at ground zero. Puddles. It's basically coming now to a stop. Calmed. So we're just, pitter and patter now into the rainstorm. I stand corrected. It's, gosh, should check that. 2:52 p.m. And it did pick back up now, about 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago. And it is that luscious stuff that's so effervescent, fills the air more than the heaviness. So it ain't stopped, but it's been mellow yellow for an hour and nearly dead, and then now we're back to this sort of a lighter version of our rain that we got earlier. It's nice, very nice. Okay, this time the satellites are more correct. It's 3:34 p.m. and the rain's pretty much done. I think it's gonna just pitter out now. All right, well, my favorite memory of this leg of this journey is gonna be when Cindy handed me a stack of towels and said, take your water and go. Look at this. This rain bucket, this little one was sitting on top of the truck. This one is a fill bucket. I mean, it's, 2 inches of water in those buckets. Yesterday I was showing off that the ecosystem doesn't ever flood itself. And walking over here, it's looking pretty floody today. Now, what did I do? I put in 750 gallons. I did the catalytic spray on 3 big trees, and I haven't touched them since yesterday morning. I asked Cindy if this was normal or anything like that. She said, yeah, we get rain, but no, this has been heavy. I think we got at least an inch yesterday, and I think we got around 2 inches today. So anyway, I'm gonna go drive to Payson and come back one more time today, since I certainly don't need to water, and see what kind of other rain has come through. I bet you it's highly concentrated here. It's not devastating in this lot, but it's definitely been a little bit of a like, ooh, man, I want it to stop for, hours. And I hope that it opens up now and we end up with a sunny evening. And just, what's happening here is lovely saturation with minimal damage. That little critter seems pretty happy. What is that thing? Oh, it's a robin bouncing along. So that's a good sign. Happy bird. All right. This is the survey drive. There's no hail damage to the truck, so that's good, right? Number one. Let's talk to Cindy about that. She didn't say anything about hail damage, so And just go down the mountain here. I'll turn it back on when I see something interesting, which will probably be every 10 seconds. Let's try this first challenge of going up the muddy hill. No problem. Drainage, fine. Yeah, no problem. Normal. Even a little better, honestly, because it's not dusty. So now it's like I'm on pavement. It's like the stuff's holding together better right now. I know that's an optimistic way of looking at things, but it's true. Okay, here's a little greasiness. It's fine. This is fine. There's a runoff area. Looks fine. They didn't have any major problems. We're good. We're good up here. I don't see any flood damage yet. Should we go down one more turn? Drainage is fine and good there. Drainage is fine and good here. Here's a flood. But we're under over, we're fine. Here's the fire station with water all around it. Ow! Yesterday, I was worried it was hard, but it wasn't too much. All right, so now today, I'm certainly hoping the same thing. That what appeared to me to be a potential disaster is not. And meaning, number one, no hail damage. Number two, no flood damage to human property. Although that's asking a lot, because these are not human property. These are other creatures trying to move moisture, in my theory here, based on repeat experience and patterning. It's like the system cleansed itself from a non-human perspective. And tomorrow the sun comes out and it's a whole new world. That's the pattern, man. Fire damage is not very high, people. Got a green fog there. Rising up. Tree clouds. Got on the paved road a moment ago. It's totally fine. Just, nice. It's been cleaned also. No problem. Cruising around 40 miles an hour downhill in a big truck. Accelerating on the curves. So, yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Still don't see any signs of damage out here. Not a single one yet. It's a lot of water. Alright, so when you down move towards a clearing, towards the bottom of this road here, still no damage. And so I'm going to Payson because, as far as I know, they didn't get any of this. It's so wild because I was at the health food store today getting some non-toxic laundry detergent. Because you can't buy that in a mainstream grocery store anywhere in America. I don't know what's wrong with people, why they think toxic detergent is a good idea. But anyway, I was getting the good stuff and asked them what they thought of the rain. And I got two very loud complaints about how it was just humid, hadn't rained enough. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna try again. That's why I'm in town. I'm leaving in the morning, and they chuckled and I love it and all that kind of stuff, and I left. So then I come back up here, don't do a dang thing. I just get out of the car and start talking about my plan for 3 p.m. And at 12:40, we're off to the races. And by 1:15, I think we were in hail. So yeah, I didn't do nothing. I just watched and documented it as it came. There's no rain forecast for Payson, but I'm about 15 miles away. Been driving on wet pavement the whole time, so I'm a little more than halfway and the rain just started. Blue sky's obviously dead ahead, but maybe it's coming. Maybe it's going to get all the way to Payson. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, the landscape is getting watered. So whether or not the town gets watered is, oh man, it got really watered. There's a lot you can see over there. So whether or not the town gets watered and people have a comfortable day or weekend is not the first priority. The first priority is what you're seeing. Green, green, green forests without fire risk. Hallelujah. There's our cloud break though. It's gonna be over quick. Very super cool distributed light effect. There it is, over Star Valley. Star Valley, land of light streaks, streaky light land. Oh, gradiated from horizon to cloud. Look at this miracle. Coming into the old Star Valley. It's dry here. No rain to speak of, but pleasant. Woo, feels good. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite kind of weather. Yes, this Star Valley, this is what I call silky air. This is the bee's business here. It doesn't get any better than silky air. So hopefully the locals in Payson have this and they're going to be real happy. All right, this is Payson. Not only is it doing fine, there's my favorite cafe in the world now, the 260. That was amazing, that breakfast. Wish I could come back tomorrow. But not only has Payson got silky air, but it's also got major fog. There it is, on the other side of town, the other side of the city limits here. That's exciting. That means maybe something will spin up into town tomorrow. I mean, that's just a wild hope. Yeah, you can see this is like a 180. The smell is in the air of good things happening. And then I just pan around. That's due west right there. That's the sun. You can see and smell rain just off of town. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if they got rainfall tonight. And this is definitely not hot and humid. This is nice, dust-soothing weather. This is like bringing the rain type weather. So I think we're at box number 2, about to be checked. Got the 2 major goals, prevent fires and then make things nicer for the people. That is a beautiful sight over Payson. It's just totally mind-blowing. I'm pulling out Payson. They didn't get rain, they got the weather they want. It's so crazy, man. It's just really crazy how perfectly it's going at the moment. There's a rainbow in front of me even. It's just a creamy, silky, absolutely heavenly existence out here. There's rain around to soften everything, which means there'll be rain soon. This also means the rain will be better accepted when it gets here because everything's kind of opening up a little bit more, softening up in Payson. And then of course we've gotten like 4 inches or something of rain, at least I'm sure 3 in 2 days, since 750 gallons. And there's mist dead ahead. I'm not filming, I'm driving. This is, real driving out here. Especially when you're driving a plastic sail down the mountains, meaning the 2 water tanks. But anyway, man, it's like Hawaii. This is the state, I would hope to leave it in. Just not have to work hard to help whatever happened yesterday begin. I'm just going to say that. Now, whatever has taken place today, I mean, clearly those two events are connected, but all I did today was pour out the remainder from yesterday, literally. So I sit and drive in absolute awe. It's a little bit like being one with the biosphere, which is the human universe. This is the thing that frustrates me the most about people, is that we're so limited in our... We desire a container for reality so that we can define it on some level in this modern mindset, but we likewise we don't actually pay attention to the container that we're in and are part of and made of and all that stuff, interacting with, constantly depleting or enriching. You know, we don't pay attention to it. So that's my mission here, is in part, is to flip that paradigm. This year, man, we've had at least 12,000 years of nonsense when it comes to not paying attention to the biosphere, and civilization essentially being fundamentally negative denial of self, with lots of fringe benefits. And in other words, the king is not really the happiest guy, you know? And so the idea of having the most sex, the most strength, and the most riches, and, you know, ideally the most good looks and the most celebrity, all that stuff is what people care about right now. Most influence. It's like absolutely a recipe for disaster, in terms of what it hath wrought so far, which is to destroy individuality and kinship in the name of service to a, you know, dominant overlord. And understandably, some people are stronger than others, and we are trying to figure this out. We're way past the sort of physicality of male domination, strong men as rulers, or empowered strong women. You know, we're out of the baboon phase or the chimp phase into a purely, you know, potential-oriented phase for humanity. And just because a few of these Johnny-comes are talking about AI all the time, it doesn't mean that it's the only aspect of our future we need to be excited about. Look at that rainbow, man. I am a little ways up the road here, and there's definitely moisture on the highway that I don't remember seeing coming in. Could be further now than I realize, but I think I'm only like 4 or 5 miles up. It really does look like Hawaiian green out here. Holy moly. And I'm actually closer to 2/3. Yeah, I'm about 2/3 of the way there. So I was spending more time shooting footage of rainbows than I realized. But my goodness, I feel like I'm in a Canadian spring. Do not feel like I'm in an Arizona desert forest summer. And I haven't seen any indication of damage, anywhere, period. It just looks lush. To quote someone, the color on that cactus back there was like bright Picasso violet blended with Picasso yellow. I've never seen that on a cactus. That is craziness. Just to have interacted with this on some level. The depth of color in the soil everywhere now is rich. They're gonna get more rain here. Fog over this looks like George Lucas territory now. There's fog over the forest, like the redwoods, Ewoks. But these are all pinon pine, or this is at least pinon pine dominant. See, we have so much to be excited about in the world, in America, in our future. Wow. It's really transformative, this day here. All right, no need to film every step here, but it's still wet. On this road, there's still standing water. Clouds are thick again too. I don't like this. It's just a moment later, it's 6:47 roughly, and look at that, we got rain. Do we have to? Wow. I don't get a negative sense from it though. Just like all day today, it's like, well, it's a lot, but it doesn't feel like it's bad a lot up here, and it apparently wasn't. So just keep on riding with it. A few little drops here, and it's just, this is Silky Air Central. This has just been supernatural, to say the least. I didn't feel that way about the hissing trees or the perfect rain in Kingston, because I worked real hard for all that. But man, this has been minimal, intervention, and just this maximum amount of power and resurgence. It is remarkable. It looks like Bowling Green, Kentucky now. The Hawaiian mountaintop. Wow, wow, wow. Lucky to be alive, lucky to get to do this.